Hello and welcome. We're glad you've decided to join us for this program, part of the College of Arts and Sciences virtual homecoming offerings. We wish you could be with us in person on campus to celebrate this year, but we are excited by the opportunity to bring the college and some of its incredible students to you at home. I'm Jessica Malone, a 2010 graduate of the college and current member of the Case Western Reserve University Alumni Association Board of Directors. I'm delighted to be with you, serving as the moderator for today's panel discussion. Our student experience panel today will feature the opportunity to hear from current College of Arts and Sciences students who are joining us digitally via Zoom, hello all, and from the college's new dean, Joy Ward, who we will introduce before asking our students to introduce themselves. Dean of the college and a professor of biology, Dean Ward is an internationally recognized academic leader and scientist. She has a depth of experience that spans local, national, and international levels. Dean Ward received her BS degree in biology from Penn State University and earned her doctorate at Duke University. She also held a postdoctoral position at the University of Utah. She was an award-winning professor and scholar at the University of Kansas, where she resided for 17 years prior to becoming dean at Case Western Reserve on July 1. Dean Ward is internationally recognized for her studies on how plants respond to changing atmospheric carbon dioxide over geologic and contemporary time. By incorporating the fossil record, she has provided novel insights into how plants have responded to long-term environmental changes since the last glacial period, and how plants will respond to environmental changes of the future. Dean Ward has received many honors during her academic career. She received a Presidential Early Career Award for Scientists and Engineers from the White House in 2009, and an award from the National Science Foundation. The Kavli Foundation and National Academy of Sciences also named her a Kavli Fellow, an honor reserved for the nation's most promising scientists and engineers. Dean Ward was selected by the National Academy of Sciences to serve as U.S. Chair and Planning Member for the Frontiers of Science in Saudi Arabia, Japan, Oman, and Kuwait, and has been a scientific delegate to Uzbekistan. A strong proponent of mentorship programs, Dean Ward has mentored many successful students at the undergraduate, graduate, and postdoctoral levels. And many of these students have published peer-reviewed papers with her that have increased our understanding of the effects of climate change on plants. Dean Ward has been a mentor for several National Institutes of Health-sponsored programs to enhance diversity and inclusivity in STEM fields. The College of Arts and Sciences is so fortunate to benefit from her leadership. And at this time, it is my privilege to welcome to the program, Dean Joy Ward.
Jessica, thank you for that very kind introduction. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as Dean of the College these past few months and to really get to know the incredible students we have on campus, some of whom we are speaking with today. And I'm looking forward to weighing in and adding my perspectives as Dean and as a faculty member to the conversation.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dean Ward. With that, I'd like to ask the students who are joining us as panelists to introduce themselves briefly, telling us about what they're studying, what they're involved with on campus, and a little bit about their Case Western Reserve experiences. So I will call upon each one of you and ask you to introduce yourself to the group. Let's start with Zaheen.
Hey everyone, I'm Zaheen. I'm a junior biology major, which means I'm graduating in 2022. And here at CASE, I'm involved in a couple of organizations so one being Discussions, the CASE Undergrad Research Journal, and shadowing case by case. Beyond that, of course, I do research. And overall, I found my CASE experience to be really awesome. And there's definitely a lot you can do here at CASE.
Welcome to the conversation, Zaheen. Thank you. Might I call on Danae?
Hi everyone, I'm Danae. I'm a fourth year student, double majoring in dance and nutrition with a minor in Spanish. I'm involved in a few different clubs on campus, but my favorite by far are the Emerging Leaders program that I help facilitate, and Impulse Dance Club, which is an improv dance group. And I am from the suburbs of Chicago.
Thank you, Danae. Kristen, might I ask you to introduce yourself to the group today?
Of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Kristen. I am also a fourth year student. I am majoring in psychology and minoring in childhood studies. I'm from Bedford, Ohio. Some of the organizations I'm involved with include orientation, being a tour guide, and also being a member of RHA, which is our Residence Hall Association.
That is wonderful. And last but certainly not least, Grayson, will you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Grayson, and I'm from Jamestown, New York. I'm a psychology major, and on campus, I work as a supplemental instructor for Biology 214. And a new budding interest for me is restorative justice.
That is wonderful. Thank you. Well, I'd like to start off our time today with a question. I'm sure everyone is thinking about this right now. How is the semester going? I know that CAIS is employing a dual delivery approach to teaching this semester, giving students the opportunity to study on or off campus. What have your experiences been like so far? Grayson, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, sure. It has, of course, been a different experience. So I came to Case Western as a spring admit last semester, which is why I'm technically still a first year. And so I've only had normal classes for about 10 weeks before kind of the pandemic hit. And coming back now, it's been an adjustment, but everyone's really sort of stepped up to the challenge and has been extremely understanding of the specific difficulties and challenges we're facing. And I've just felt supported and honestly, I've been more involved in campus this semester than before, which has been really exciting.
That's really great to hear, because I think a lot of us might wonder, it'd be easy to disconnect during this time. So I'm glad that you feel that way. Kristen, how about you? How have things been going?
Yeah, so the transition to being remote and having online virtual classes has been really weird to get used to, especially when it first got started. However, I feel like we've all just gotten used to it to the point where it's just second nature. So all of my classes this semester, for example, are remote, so I don't have to travel to any sort of lecture halls. So it is really weird. I do kind of get the disconnect on campus, being that I'm kind of stuck in my room all day. But however, I'm still trying to find ways to be involved, which is why I joined RHA. So while the overall transition was weird, I think we've all gotten used to it and got used to the experience.
Yes, I think we're all now Zoom experts at this point in the year. Zaheen, how have things been going for you this semester?
Yeah, so I think I also want to echo what Kristen said. There's definitely an adjustment period in the beginning of the semester where you're really trying to figure out what's going on and how to use Zoom and all your teachers' policies and all that. But overall, I think, like Kristen said, you get used to it, and Case has done a pretty good job, at least for certain professors, of being accommodating for students and all that. And definitely there's a disconnect, because I know all my classes are remote, but there's this one class that's not remote, but also recorded. It's definitely kind of an interesting experience again.
Danae, how are you feeling?
I mean, I can't say I'm not disappointed to be starting my last year at Case Western Reserve online, but I am really grateful for the university for providing opportunities to have some in-person opportunities. So I have been able to attend dance classes in person safely and socially distant, and the dance department has provided some outdoor performance opportunities. So that has been really just fun and interesting, and I'm really appreciative that they're giving us those opportunities to still be kind of engaged and involved.
Dean Ward, what have been your insights on all of this?
I'm very excited to have been able to have a delivery approach where students have been both able to be in person at times and as well as being remote in safe ways for the space that we have. And we have worked very hard to accommodate those types of courses like dance and music in very safe ways where students can come together. And I'm also very encouraged by the great innovations that we've found through this process. We've learned how to connect with students one-on-one in ways that we have not before through remote learning and remote conversations between faculty and students, where students not only have talked about their course material, but have also been able to one-on-one talk about, for example, their future careers and what faculty have been through as they work to grow and develop their careers. And we've also had wonderful innovations in our lab courses, for example. In physics, I know that we've sent kits home to students where they've actually been able to perform experiments at home and then report on those in a group setting. And so our faculty have been very innovative at being able to continue hands-on learning and engage our students not only in the current moment of the course material, but also talking about their future careers and future steps in life. And so although the pandemic has been very hard on all of us, it's really provided innovations in teaching that I hope will be forever. And I've never been around an environment in higher ed where pedagogy and learning have been more exciting and more interesting for us to delve into on how to best serve our students. So the conversation is alive and well in higher education right now and how to best serve students under this unusual circumstance that we find ourselves in. So I'm very excited in what our faculty have done to help us to remain in very close contact with our students in a variety of ways.
Yes, and you mentioned hands-on experiential learning. Danae, you talked about being able to safely have dance. For others joining us, we miss hands-on research and studying abroad and some of these other experiences thrown into our years on campus. Have you had some opportunities to have hands-on learning in your classes? Kristen, would you like to start with an answer?
Sure. So the classes that I'm taking this semester aren't really geared towards like hands-on activities, so like any labs or anything like that. However, I will say I do work in a theater department for the costume shop. And so, of course, you have to put hands-on when you're sewing things. And so we've worked out ways for at least once a week for us to come in, work on different projects, cut fabric, things along those lines. And we each of my coworkers actually got a chance to take home a sewing machine that was offered through the theater department. So we all can work from home really safely, which was really great. I'm really happy that we were able to do that. So while I get the opportunity to go to work, I can also finish work at home, which I really enjoyed.
I'm glad to hear that. Grayson, it looked like you were ready to jump in.
Yeah, one of my favorite classes so far this semester has been a class on statistics and psychological sciences. And for that class, our culminating project is taking real social survey data and interpreting it and playing with it to address a hypothesis that we as students have developed in specific groups. I know my group specifically is looking at the impact of socioeconomic status on health. And I think using real data that it kind of instantiates the learning and gives you a different perspective on the common challenges and pitfalls you run into when you're doing real work. And then you have such a collaborative, supportive environment with your group and your instructor to rise above them and then to be more prepared going forward.
Excellent. Zaheen, anything to add?
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually taking 2 labs this semester: organic chemistry lab and physics lab. And I can definitely say, with the physics lab, that our professors are really. It's kind of cool that they have this technology to kind of run a lot of these labs from our own homes. Like, for example, I actually have a physics lab report due tonight, and as part of that lab report, we have to measure the position, acceleration, velocity of a moving object, and we can kind of do that using this device that our professors kind of told us to use. And it's pretty cool with the combination of the software, even from like the comfort of our home, to be able to run these experiments and labs in real time.
That is really cool. I bet there's some alumni that wish they could partake in that with you. So I want to ask you all, homecoming is one of many traditions on campus. It's one of my favorite, and it looks a little different this year. But I wonder if all of you would share with us one of your favorite traditions or events or activities that happens on campus. Zaheen, would you like to kick us off?
Well, yeah, I've always been a big fan of the Asian Midsummer Festival because, one, free merch, and two, free food. And I think just being able to celebrate that cultural heritage across, just so many people across Case through all these various, holidays and stuff is really one of the great things of being here.
That sounds like so much fun. Danae, what about you?
It's not necessarily a tradition, but I just always really enjoy seeing alumni come back, especially with their families and just reminiscing and celebrating the campus. And especially as I've gotten older, having, my own friends that have graduated coming back and just being able to see them and celebrate Case Western with them has always been something I've really enjoyed.
Grayson, favorite tradition, event, activity?
I am unfortunately unqualified to answer this question as this will be my first homecoming. So I'm excited to learn, and maybe I'll let you know next year.
Yes, absolutely. Is there something you maybe are looking forward to that you've heard about?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little out of the loop. I kind of have my bubble, and I interact in my bubble, and I'll get back to you on that. I promise.
We will definitely be tracking on you. The Alumni Association will come in and follow up. Kristen.
Yeah, so my favorite campus tradition or event is Spring Fest. It's like the end of the year concert. Every year kind of upgrades. Unfortunately, we couldn't have it last year because of the pandemic, which kind of is upsetting. But I'm looking forward to see if they can kind of still push it and make it through for next year. But it's always a lot of fun. It's a great way to de-stress, at the very end of the school year, listen to some music, play games. Last year the year before they had inflatables, which was really cool. So I've always looked forward to it.
That is a fun one. So I have a question for you, Zaheen. You made news on campus a few weeks ago when it was announced that you were selected as a recipient of a Barry Goldwater Scholarship. Round of applause for you. I wonder if you could share with us a little more about that experience and what it means to you.
Awesome. Yeah. I think kind of earning this scholarship really is a way to reflect back on the research, you really do here at Case. Because when you're going through the whole application process, you work with the undergraduate awards office, and they kind of provide their feedback. They're really awesome and helpful in crafting your application. And during the entire process, it's a very reflective process, and it really kind of you take a step back and think critically about what you have done. How is this going to impact research on a much broader scale and field? And think beyond that. Where else can you really push the research you're doing at Case Western? Whether it be in graduate school, as a postdoc, and so on and so forth. And so I definitely think just the fact just even applying and going through the process is a really useful one, and really. You learn a lot about yourself and what you've done, and that wouldn't have been possible without the help of the undergraduate office, specifically Amanda McCarthy and some of the other Case students who I worked with. It was kind of cool because usually Case can nominate around 4 people to the scholarship every year, and this year, three of us nominees actually all worked together in this very collaborative way. I can definitely remember all of us at the library trying to figure, how are we going to do this application, and coincidentally, I think all of us want it. So that's really one of the, most awesome things, just to be able to work with similar like-minded peers, craft your application, and be able to reflect on what you've done.
And would you mind expanding a little bit on the research work you're doing and what you're most excited about?
Okay, awesome. So some of the research I do here at Case is under Dr. Sackley at the School of Medicine, and there I'm studying an HIV protein, which we think could be a way to how HIV can kind of hide inside your body. And so some of the findings with it kind of indicated some patterns. Maybe there's some cells that HIV preferentially hide inside of. And so I'm kind of super excited because I do a lot of computational analysis, given all this transition to remote and all of that. So hopefully can come back and kind of confirm this analysis and findings that we've found in the past.
That is so impressive. And again, congratulations. I have a few more questions, but I did want to pause and ask Dean Ward if you had anything you wanted to jump in with.
Well, I think this is a great testament to how important it is for students to conduct research or creative works or scholarly work with faculty while they are here on campus. Certainly the coursework that our students undertake is really critical for their development in a given major or beyond. But also what's critically important is when our faculty step up, as many of them do, and spend many, many hours a week working side by side with our students. And these are top award-winning faculty that work with students on their research projects or on their scholarly work. And in this process, when a student can work side by side with a faculty member, as we've seen examples here, that student develops the ability to ask a question that no one knows the answer to, and then go pursue the answer to that, which contributes to all of society. And in that process, the student learns how to communicate these findings, how to project manage so that they can take something from the beginning to the end and then have a final outcome, as well as communicate the work and findings that they have, which we saw so well done here today. And so CASE really provides those experiences, whether they're remote or in person, and we saw examples of both today, where when students work side by side to solve real societal challenges with our faculty, they really come out career ready and ready really to take hold of their futures. And we here in the College of Arts and Sciences really take that seriously, that it is entrusted to us to really educate that next generation of innovators and leaders. And so we take that role very seriously. We're glad to do it, and we so enjoy our time working with the students. It really is one of the highlights of what we do.
Thank you. My next question is for Ms. Danae. I'm wondering if you might tell us a little bit more about the Emerging Leaders Program and what that means to the campus community.
Yeah, the Emerging Leaders Program is a program designed specifically for first-year students in their first semester on campus. And so it's a great way for those first-year students to get involved and kind of dip their toes into kind of organization involvement, while also developing leadership and personal skills. And so it's a program I participated in my first semester, and I have been able to be a facilitator for the program the past 2 years, and this is my last year. And so we help develop the program for these first year students, and we've kind of helped continue evolve it to keep meeting their needs, especially now we're doing it virtually, and that way we're able to connect with students both on campus and off. And so it's been a great way to kind of get students involved and kind of push them to explore other opportunities on campus after their first semester.
That is so important, and thank you for caring about that and being involved with that on campus. Kristen, so you and I both grew up here in Northeast Ohio, not too far from CASE campus. Has being close made a difference in your time as a student compared to some of your classmates who are from out of state or out of country?
Yeah. So compared to my out-of-state comrades and peers, I don't get as homesick as often because I can go home pretty easily. So I find that really hopeful, and it was one of the reasons why I really wanted to come to Case Western, is because it was close to home, and I knew that having that support system so close and near me was really important for me. So that's one of the bonuses of coming to Case Western. But as for, I don't know, convenience or anything, I feel like even though I'm from the area, there were a lot of things I was unfamiliar with on campus and even near campus that I've been able to discover through being a student. So I've went through the discovery phase of the city pretty similarly with my other peers. However, I guess the one difference is like the level of homesickness that I'll experience.
So I laugh reflecting on your comments. Being close to home for me meant it took me way too long to figure out how to do my own laundry. So I would just take it home to my mom on the weekends. Thank you for sharing that experience. And Grayson, a last question for you. You mentioned being a supplemental instructor. Is that correct? Can you tell us a little more about that and how you got involved?
Yeah, so I am a supplemental instructor for Biology 214, which is the first course on a 3-course sequence that all biology majors take. And typically, if you are a pre-med student, you're going to take these courses. And so last semester I came being pre-med, I wanted to sort of get involved and really grow my knowledge of biology, as it's going to be applicable and important going forward. And I had a great supplemental instructor, Sri Adanthi, who was extremely supportive and knowledgeable. And I remember one night we were walking back from a session because Sri and I lived on similar parts of campus, and had a conversation on what SI meant to me and what it meant to her. And during that conversation, I decided, you know what, this is something that, hearing her comments on how meaningful it is and how it's the most important thing she's done on campus, being able to connect with so many students, I decided to apply, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. So in my sessions, there's 3 a week, and I am in 2 of them. Sri actually is now my co-SI for that course, and we have typically 90 to 100 students in every session. And it's such an interesting, unique experience, because while we're helping with this course, we're also helping with a lot of these first-year students who are excited. They're coming to campus, and it's the first course in this big sequence, and they have this huge journey ahead of them, and they just kind of want to learn, how do you navigate this college experience. And so it's been an opportunity for me to learn about how to be a mentor, and also how to articulate difficult concepts in a way that's understandable and builds on their experience. So it's easily been the best part of this semester so far for me in terms of campus involvement. I look forward to continuing it into next semester is the plan.
Well, I just have to say, as an alum of the college, I am so proud of all of you guys, and the reach and the diversity of your work is just impressive and inspiring, and I'm so glad I got to hear from all of you. Dean Ward, as you get to know the students here in the college, I wonder if you could share your initial impressions and observations, and what most impresses you about the students of Case Western Reserve.
Our students here are incredible. They are not only thinking about their own careers, although they are really engaged in that, as you can see, but they're thinking about others. They're thinking about how to make a difference in this world, and they truly will. And so I'm really struck by how humble and unselfish they are, and how they really get out into the community and are there for those around them. And so I'm really pleased at the high quality students and individuals that we have here, and all the work that they do, both in their studies and in helping bring others along with them. And so it is truly an honor to work with them. They are our hope for the future, and they come here early on from high school, and by the time they leave here, they are our top performers in their fields, and ready for either a career or for graduate school or medical school and many other areas. And so they really keep our energy up, and they are the hope for the future. And I'm so proud of all they have accomplished. And I also want to take the time to thank our alumni for the support that they provide to give us those resources to allow our students to have those opportunities to do research, to do creative works and performance, and to go out into the community and learn from the community and have the community learn from us. So thank you to all the alumni for what they do to support us as we support our students.
You know, I'm sure a lot of the alumni, in the spirit of homecoming, are reminiscing about their favorite places on campus. And of course, campus has changed dramatically over the years. So for all of our students on the call, Give me a place that we must go check out when we're able to come back as alumni to campus. Grayson, I'll call you out first. Is there any place you would recommend we go, or a place you're looking forward to going to?
Yeah, so this semester I'm actually living in an apartment in Little Italy, which has been a super exciting experience. And because of that, I have developed a very strong relationship with the Tinkerville University Center, as that's kind of the hub when I am in my apartment so much and being socially distant and kind of losing some opportunities to get out. I've gained others in different areas, and one of those has been studying and meeting with small groups in this university center that takes sanitation very seriously and safety very seriously, which has been really exciting. And it's just a beautiful place. I come from a small town in Western New York that doesn't have these sorts of resources, and then to come and see just how the scale of everything is so large just kind of encourages me to put in my best effort and know that that'll be matched. So the Tinkerville University Center is kind of like a symbol of hope for me, if you will. It's an awesome place.
All right, I'm putting that on the list for our alum. Kristen, where should we go?
Yeah, so this is more so a question also for myself. And so I'm looking forward to the new theater building that's being constructed as of right now. It might not be done by the time I graduate, so it's going to be a little bit sad. But they are planning on building a new building, which I'm really excited for. And I hope that everyone can go and see productions there. It's going to be right next to the Moats Performing Arts Center, which in itself is a beautiful building. So if any alumni have never been there, highly should suggest that. But that's pretty much what I'm really looking forward to, or it's a great place on campus, even though it's not formally on campus yet.
Sounds good to me. Danae.
I feel like I have to say Mather Dance Center. That's really kind of been my home the past couple of years here on campus, and it surprises me sometimes how many students walk right past it every day on their way to the quad and don't even realize it's there. So it's an incredible history behind the building too. It was a part of Mather College for Women. It was the first gym, so it's over 100 years old. So beyond seeing dance productions there, hopefully in the future when we are out of this pandemic, but just also learning more about the school and the history, I'd recommend it.
Wonderful. And Zaheen, any recommendations for us?
Oh yeah, I'd actually recommend the Cleveland Art Museum and the surrounding area because, the RV just has so many awesome pieces of art and history, and just kind of cool just to have a day, just relax and look through and kind of go back, wow, this happened so long ago and all that stuff. And beyond that, the building's just beautiful, all the architecture and just the aesthetics, and the surrounding area is just also very relaxing. There's like a lagoon nearby, so it's nice to see all the ducks going by and all that. It's an awesome place to go.
Beautiful over there. Dean Ward, have you identified a favorite place on campus just yet?
I have to admit it's my office, which is on the 7th floor of Crawford, and therefore I invite all alumni next year, if they're able to be here in person, to please come visit and see the view. It's quite beautiful out the window, and the campus is beautiful. It's such an honor to be here.
Well, we will all take you up on that, absolutely, Dean Ward. And I just wanted to thank all of you for being here today. Students, you are rock stars. Keep up the great work. Dean Ward, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And alumni like me always appreciate the opportunity to hear from today's students and our future alumni. So again, we appreciate each of you. We appreciate your insights. And thank you for those of you at home that tuned in to listen to our panel today. Everybody stay safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.